I'm not trying to bust up Hasan. I'm really not. But give me a fucking break, man.
Removal of civil liberties from women, okay? Not just like gay people,
That's not true at all. Most people are not. I'm sorry. I disagree with all of Hasan's analysis today, but like most people don't even understand why abortion got banned, or even if it is banned in their state. Okay, my personal feeling about Hasan is that Hasan lives in West Hollywood. And whenever you're talking about vibes of swing states, there's no one who's worse at telling you what the vibes of a swing state are than Hasanabi.
We understand how serious this kind of stuff is, but like, no, the overwhelming majority of Americans, due to the duopoly stranglehold.
Okay, Hasan, bro, that is two separate things. I can view politics through ideology and policy because I'm an intelligent human being who has my own goals. And I don't identify with the Democratic Party.
My son, I have a beautiful boy, Barron, and he loves Mike Tyson.
Beautiful big boy. Big boy.
He's huge. He's a big boy, 6'9".
God, they know how to glaze. They know how to glaze older white men. I never understood how the Paul brothers, and Logan grew so much. But now I'm getting it.
Podcast called Impulsive. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. Very big podcast. And they, yesterday, had a conversation with a particular individual with a red tie. That particular individual is also known as Donald John Trump, the current president of the United States of America, secretly. And the former president of the United States of America as well. Number 45, number 47, and maybe even number 46. Let's take a look at what happened in this process, in this conversation.
This is going to be great.
I think so too.
This all my life.
On the one hand, I'm like thinking about the ethics of such a thing, like promoting Donald Trump, which is like hilarious to say because he was the president. It's like, why are you promoting Trump? It's like a funny thing to say. But also on the other hand, I'm like, it's such great content. And honestly, my content brain side gets way excited. Yeah, that was
personally. My feeling is if Donald Trump comes on your show, you should be roasting him. He should be pissed off. Because you're asking him questions. If you're kissing his face like this, if you're getting all close like you're about to make out, this is gay, by the way. And notice how much Donald Trump loves it. I haven't seen Donald Trump smiling legitimately in a very long time. But when he gets close enough that he could kiss the Impulsive crew, he's getting excited. He's waking up. He's got a pep in his step.
Was me on the trailer.
This is Trump for Pride Month.
That's what I thought. Some people still think you did win that. Oh, no way. We got gifts.
Oh, nice. Sell for a lot of money.
Oh, no way. Thank you, President.
Just split it up here.
Thank you, President.
Oh, amazing.
This is
Is this your mugshot?
yeah, can you believe it?
You're a gangster.
This is what we're reduced to.
No way. No way. Should we put them on now?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Like, oh my God. I'm jealous, but also I'm excited because like I don't think I've ever been this close, like this immediately and directly close to Donald Trump. Like, think about it, chat. This man sitting in the corner, the host of the Impulsive podcast, has sat here. You know what I mean?
Donald Trump has never smiled like that with any of his kids except Ivanka. Eric Trump was in the rubber room. They found Eric Trump in his bathtub with an empty pill bottle next to it. This set Eric Trump to get his stomach pumped for sure.
Like, this is literally the closest I have been to Donald Trump. That's mighty parasocial of you. Yeah, I am parasocial for Trump.
That's amazing.
Why didn't you ask him to mention you? Dude, if I knew, I would have helped them produce this. 100%. I would have given him some solid questions, like not like obviously contentious ones, but like questions that would trip him up at least a little bit, but massaged in a way where it's like a good enough question that he will answer it.
Tells. Well, Elvis had one, Frank Sinatra had one.
This shirt,
but we've eclipsed him. A long time ago, we've eclipsed him.
This is crazy.
It's pretty cool. Isn't it cool?
I have to be honest, I'm jealous.
It's actually, I'm not sure if I love it or not, but
no, it's
it
good.
Is what it is.
It happened, and might as well monetize it.
Well, Mr. President, people surely love it. They love the picture. They rallied behind it. They're rallying behind you now.
Well, they
more
are.
than ever.
And we had the biggest fundraising, I think, ever for any candidate ever anywhere in the world in the last 8 or 9 days. In hundreds of millions of dollars. And too bad it couldn't have been done for other reasons. But they viewed the case as being so corrupt and so ridiculous. Every one of the legal pundits, and they're great guys. When you look at Dershowitz, the whole group, that whole group of people.
Bringing up Alan Dershowitz to Logan Paul and Mike Malak is crazy. They have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And if they did, they would probably not even be that fond of Alan Dershowitz.
Okay, bro. The point is that Donald Trump is saying legal scholars agree that he's right. This is Donald Trump's rambling bullshit. But low IQ Americans, and I'm sorry, but that's what there are, they go, well, it looks like he has an answer. It's not like this is a thing. For a lot of people, I don't know how to say this. Okay, I'm going to explain it. A lot of people don't know shit. So whenever somebody starts talking with confidence, they kind of go, well, it looks like you know something. And they just kind of trust it. So, the dumber Americans are going to go, well, it looks like Donald Trump says legal scholars found the case to be ridiculous. And if they already aesthetically kind of enjoy Trump, then that's all they need to hear. And then they can move on. He has an answer. That's it.
Also known to the average human being as Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile lawyer. It's like, yeah, Mark Levin, good guy. It's like, dude, these guys don't know Mark Levin. What are you saying?
Andy McCarthy, Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, every one of them, they came out.
That's so funny. Bringing up Jonathan Turley to Logan Paul. Great guy, Jonathan Turley. I call him Jonathan Turdley. There is something very funny about this.
I just can't seem to wrap my head around it. Is you got these felony convictions and a lot of them, like more than Al Capone, right? And there was an uprising and people showed you their support with their donations. And a lot of people are saying it points out that actually the unjust nature of
Bro, I love how woefully unprepared Logan Paul is to have this conversation. He's just like saying words. My man has been given a script. This is awesome. He's like, yeah, an uprising is happening. It's just like Al Capone. It's like, what are you saying, big dog? Oh, it's so good. Please, Michael, bring it in. Bring it in.
Of America's justice system. So my question is, like, if that is your belief, if that is their belief, why do you have the desire to give your time and energy to a country or a system that's trying to take you down?
So
someone in the chat said this is just like those Modi interviews. It's so real. It's like, Mr. President, what's your favorite color? Mr. President, how do you eat a mango? Mr. President, sir, why do you devote so much of your time and energy to this beautiful country that you love, even when this beautiful country that you love has done so many wrong things to you?
I ran twice. I did much better the second time than the first time. And if I didn't, I wouldn't have done this. But we had it going like this country has never been going before. It was really good. Now it's really bad. The worst border in history, the worst inflation, I think, in history. I think the history of the country, the people are getting decimated by it. All very all something you can fix. You can fix it fast. We were energy independent. We're going to be energy dominant very soon. All these things were happening. And then we had a terrible result in an election. And what happened was disgraceful. And we can't ever let it happen again.
Dude, I can't understand how we live on this planet. I'm alive at a time when the former president who's running for re-election is going on the podcast of a dude I know very well. What the is, oh my God, look at the painting above Mike. Oh my God. Okay, I guess if we're keeping it $150, he did go on Alex Jones last time he ran.
But, we have a little expression. It's right on that hat. Make America great again. And we can do that. Make America great again. And this guy is not going to do it. This guy has destroyed our country. When you allow 15, 16, 17, they have no idea what the gotaways. Million people coming out of jails, coming out of mental institutions, insane asylum. The insane asylums all over the world, the mental institutions, they're at the lowest levels. They've been at it for years. They're going to be...
By the way, chat. Okay. So this is Donald Trump just said something. It is a factual assertion. Either it is true that the insane asylums are being emptied into our country, in which case we should be having diplomatic protests to these countries saying, what the fuck are you doing? Or he's making it up. So which is it? Now, if you're a journalist, it should be your job to factually try to investigate this assertion and see, to the best of your ability, if you could figure out whether it's true or not. Let's see what the Impulsive brothers do.
Totally empty. And you have terrorists coming into our country. We're going to be paying a big price, and we're going to solve the problem. We're going to solve it relatively quickly. But we have other problems, too, with energy, with inflation. He's been a disaster as a president. He's the worst president.
I love the impulsive zoom cuts on Donald Trump doing his tight five. Yeah, energy crisis, inflation, it's all happening. Meanwhile, it's like, zoom cut, zoom cut, zoom cut, zoom cut. That's hilarious, dude.
President we've ever had. The good news is he makes Jimmy Carter look brilliant by comparison. So Jimmy Carter
Why are you laughing at that, Logan? Do you get that reference?
is the only one that's happy with this.
Logan, you get that reference, big dog? What are you laughing at? Dude, bringing up Mark Levin to Logan Paul and Mike Malak is ridiculous. I will never let go of this. Jealousy doesn't suit you? Okay, shut the fuck up. I am jealous. I'm jealous as I am.
Well, look, I think that's why a lot of people are so obsessed with you, Mr. Trump, Mr. President Trump. Well, because you're already a billionaire, right? You are essentially serving these people, and you don't have to be doing it. The president.
No.
What? What does that mean? What is a billion? How does a billionaire serve people? Come on, bro. What is happening? Where is the Logan Paul of Black Lives Matter? I want that Logan Paul to come back. I want the Logan Paul that was like, yeah, that's right. You know, systemic racism is real. We need to put an end to that shit.
I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 25 years to realize this. It is not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. If you're...
By the way, I want you to understand something, chat, that these guys, this is a normie. They float around with whatever the effluviant is flooding in the pipe. They're like, this is why those of us who have ideological convictions should lead and not be looking at these fucking entertainers with no beliefs.
You're white. If you look like me, use your privilege. And for those who do not think white privilege exists, you are delusional and you are part of the problem.
Being the president seems like a very hard job. You were at 3 meetings just before this.
Sure.
But
Okay, he's not president right now. That's number one. And number two, if you read enough, and back when I used to read books all the time about how Donald Trump became president, because it was a fascinating story. And I don't think he thought he was going to be president, big dog. I don't think so. He just kind of got in there and was like, oh, you know, he didn't think he was going to be president. Also, he's not a billionaire, I don't think. I don't think he's a billionaire at all, actually. Like, this was a shocking turn of events for Donald Trump. I think it was The Devil's Bargain, Joshua Green's book, like literally one of the last books I can remember reading, where they talk about like how he's just kind of sitting there and no one thinks he's going to win, including himself. Or was it Fire and Fury, maybe? The Devil's Bargain is the book about Steve Bannon. It's a really good book. I really like that. It's one of the last books I read, which is crazy.
an attempt to improve your country for these things you're saying.
Twitch brain rot, chat. Twitch brain rot. Used to be smart. Used to be hardworking. Used to be a hard worker. Used to be a reader. Now he's just a gamer.
Yeah.
It comes from what? Just the love of the
Well,
country?
the people, I'll tell you, when you look at the people, when you look at the crowds, I did a rally in New Jersey. We had 107,000 people there. You saw that last week.
No, he didn't. I love how Trump just makes shit up like this. This is why he's truly quite the amazing character.
We did one in the Bronx. We had 25,000 people. And this was in the South Bronx, which is known as a rough area. And it was like a love fest. There was not even, like, nobody even raised a voice of dissent. The whole place, it was like a big love fest. Nobody could believe it. You saw that 3-4 weeks ago. There's
Absolutely no dissent. No dissent. It was amazing. That's what America's going to be like when I'm president. No dissent at all. You won't believe it.
tremendous. Our country has tremendous potential, but it's going down the tubes very, very rapidly. Nobody has ever seen anything like it, the way it's being run. So bad. And we can change it. We can change it quickly. We have a debate coming up. That'll be interesting.
June 27th,
yeah.
hosted by one of your favorite television networks, CNN.
Well, they gave me the option. They said, would you do it? And they didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. So they gave me everything. Fake Tapper and lots of other people that that were involved on CNN.
I mean, look, Trump is a serial yapper and he lies about everything and he does it in a very convincing way because he's like very confident. And I'm thinking like, how?
So I will say this, the Paul brothers have been completely snowed by Trump already. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, Donald Trump is good at campaigning. Awkward, they're not brothers. Oh, I thought they were. I thought it was the Paul brothers. I didn't know. I thought they were related. I don't watch that slop. Jake and Logan are brothers, the boxers, but not this other guy. I don't know. I honestly don't know the Paul brothers. I'm being honest with you, chat. I'm only interested in the angle of Donald Trump being interviewed by a Zoomer approved content creator. It's Logan Paul and his friend Mike. Logan Brothers Jake is not on the podcast. Okay, thank you. Honestly, it speaks better of you that you don't know them. Why would I ever know them? Why would I ever watch the Paul brothers? That would legitimately be perverted. I think if a 40-year-old man is watching Jake Paul, he should be on some sort of sex offender registry. Honestly, like what the fuck is going on? Jake Paul is like 26 now. Imagine turning 18 just after the 2020 election and now you're 22 and the economy is shit. Who are you voting for? If I were 22 years old, I would remember. Okay, I want to explain something to you, chat. When I graduated college, I graduated in December of 2008. I took an extra semester during the summer so I could finish early. I had finished in 2008. It was the worst timing to be a fresh college graduate in the history of the American economy. So if you're trying to compare being 22 today to what I was like when I wasn't 22. I was like 20. What was I? 20. I was 24. It was not good.
How would I react in this situation? And like, yeah, I'm armchair quarterback in here and being like, oh, I would like address some of the lies that he's saying, but like I probably wouldn't. Like I wouldn't be able to if he's just like sequentially deploying lies over and over again. And I would.
Okay. I'm not trying to bust up Hasan. I'm really not. But give me a fucking break, man. Give me a fucking break. If you found out that you were going to interview Donald Trump, you wouldn't sit down and watch a couple of his speeches for like talking points that he always says and then go and like debunk them and challenge them and set up some graphics and set up some, information that when he says like Venezuela is they're emptying all their insane asylums into America. Like I've heard him say that before. You're telling me that you wouldn't go and prepare for that? And then when he say it, just own him? Like, what? If you don't think you could do better than the Impulsive podcast, what are you doing? I guess he's just being nice to his friend? Like, this is crazy. They're practically riding his dick.
Definitely drop some of the sillier things that he's talking about with like how big the crowd is in the Bronx. You just kind of have to let him yap.
They thought that I wouldn't do it because it's CNN, but I've done plenty of CNN. I did a town hall not so long ago with CNN that worked out well. But I think they'll be fair. I think they're going to try and be fair. I mean, as fair as they can be. But I think it's important for there to be a debate. So they said, "You want to debate?" Yep, I'll accept. You don't even have to tell me. Then they said CNN. They said the different people that are involved. But let's see what happens. I used to get along with Jake Tapper. We'll see what happens, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it is.
That sentiment that CNN might be fair to you,
they might be,
is a bit of a departure
I'd
from
say
your
a good
normal
10% chance
from your normal hardline stance. Do you think that you're starting to come around or soften your views on some of the networks that you may have not gotten along with in the past?
No, they're fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
No, they're so bad. One of the good terms, right? Fake news. But no.
Dude, this is why he's so good at or was so good originally. Like, look, Logan's ears perked up when he said fake news, because from Logan's framework, he is basically like Barney. You know what I mean? It's like talking to Mickey Mouse, and this is a catchphrase. Like he's basically repeating his catchphrase. So people are going, "Oh my God, you're repeating your catchphrase that you're famous for." And a lot of us like to assume that we don't view politics as team sport. We understand how serious this kind of stuff is, but no, the overwhelming majority of Americans, due to the duopoly stranglehold.
Okay, Hasan, bro, That is two separate things. I can view politics through ideology and policy because I'm an intelligent human being who has my own goals. And I don't identify with the Democratic Party. All right? I am not a brainlet. Now, you're right. The average voter is a fucking brainlet. But that's not me. And if I was interviewing Donald Trump, I would roast his ass on policy. And I would force him to make statements on, like, you know, the Gaza war. It'd be like, Joe Biden has been supporting Benjamin Netanyahu to the hilt, and it looks like it's been really bad for Israel. The rest of the world is abandoning us because of all the children that are being killed. Do you have anything to say about all the children who have died? Do you support Netanyahu like Biden does? You know, give him fucking hard questions. Force him to be a little Zionist, or if you know anything about Donald Trump, I almost guarantee you that if you pushed him back, he would either leave immediately or he would agree with you because he doesn't believe in anything. I can't wait to see how and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm just saying it is what it is. And you'd never come close to meeting with this context ever. Exactly. Donald Trump would know who I am, and I would never, ever, he would never, ever, 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 ever allow me to interview him because he knows how it would go.
And the one party in practice, duopoly in theory system that we have feel exactly the same way that these guys do, where it's just like, it doesn't really matter. This is a character.
No, I don't think so. I thought maybe, you know, I had one with
like every single liberal in the chat that has been like, you don't understand, voting for Biden is going to save America, as opposed to Donald Trump, who's going to ruin America. Like, you are doing the same thing that Logan's doing, but just like in the opposite direction. And at least Logan Paul understands that he's not the, you know, the brightest light bulb in the room when it comes down to, you know, politics.
Over the years, I've been very much involved with Mike Tyson. Mike is a great guy. My son, I have a beautiful boy, Barron, and he loves Mike Tyson.
Big boy. Big boy.
He's huge.
He's a big boy, 6'9".
God, they know how to glaze. They know how to glaze older white men. I never understood how the Paul brothers, you know, and Logan grew so much, but now I'm getting it.
6'9".
My PDF's at 6'7".
And I couldn't get him to play basketball.
Bro, he's 6'9". He needs to play basketball. You need to force your son to play basketball. That's a waste of Slovenian genes, okay? The fuck are we doing? He's bulking. He's 6'9". Get his on the court right now, bro. It's about to be the next Osama bin Laden. A waste of...
You see, Hasan, if you had a son that was 6'9", you would have played basketball with him all the time as bonding and father-son time. And he would have played basketball and you would have coached him because you care about your son and you love your son, you know? But Donald Trump doesn't love his children and doesn't give a fuck about his children. So, of course, he's not going to spend any time with them. He just wants to say to him, hey, play basketball, and then go and, you know, rape someone in a fucking dressing room. All right? He doesn't have the ability to feel human love.
Height. His tall ass should have been balling too.
Soccer. He's a good athlete too. Good student.
Big
good
boy
athlete.
for soccer.
But he's 6'9".
It's insane.
Good
Well,
looking.
first of all, I mean, I think 6'9" might be a little bit big for soccer, but I mean, you could be like, has there ever been a 6'9" striker? Or I guess what would it be? A center back? Fullback? You just have him challenging for every header, just clearing it out. Peter Crouch. Ooh, see, I'm not a soccer fan, but I studied the game so I would understand it in a very autistic way. So I like understand the game structure, but I don't care about it. And I know, you know, I understand the strategies and positions and shit, but I don't care about the players. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, this is easy clap. You just send your, you just center it and let your 6'9" striker just head it in. Yeah, like obvious. This is easy mode. Amazing. Okay, that's exactly what I was picturing.
Guy, but he is a tall one. There's no question. I say, Baron, I don't want to take a picture next to you. It's
Slovakian.
we ought to make him a fighter, maybe.
No, I don't want. Guys, it's 2024. We want to spend less and save more. That's just a fact. But how?
Okay.
We always see
that.
you with a single gallon in your first tank of gas. Thank you, Upside. Back to the show. We always see you at the UFC fights.
Yeah.
So you're obviously a fight fan.
I like it. I really enjoy it. I think Dana White is one of a kind.
Donald Trump, this is another point. Donald Trump, UFC. UFC is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. UFC is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you like UFC, you are either a socialist or you are a Neanderthal brain. There's no liberals who like UFC. Okay? UFC is like an anti-liberal zone. All right? So it makes perfect sense that Donald Trump is doing better with the type of people who watch UFC. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when FDR was president, the people that liked UFC would have voted for the Democrats. All right? The guys with calluses on their hands would have voted Democrat. Now, people with calluses on their hands are not voting Democrat. That's the issue, is like all the conservative babble about like working hard and, you know, blah, 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 blah. That was all bullshit because no conservative was like that is now becoming that way because Donald Trump is appealing to those people who have been abandoned by the Democrats. I'm a socialist, but I don't like UFC. I didn't say every socialist likes UFC. I'm just saying that of the people that are on the left who like UFC, you're not going to run into a lot of libs. Libs don't like UFC. Well, I like it. Okay, LMAO. Yeah, exactly. Fucking lib. You're not supposed to say you're a lib, chat. Look at the history of Minnesota's 8th Congressional District. Perfect example of this. Since when do socialists like worker exploitation? What are you talking about? Are you confused? I'm not saying they like the fact that UFC is run by one of the greediest, most evil bastards in the history. They like the blood sport. It's very, how do I put this? Fragile masculinity coded. Americans have nothing to fight for, so they fight in a chain link fence to feel tough. We got to get in the octagon, and they think that sounds tough or interesting. Amazing. They don't like it.
Sure.
And he's been generous to me. He's made a great statement about me the other day.
I saw that.
That was a nice statement.
Well, because you've had his back for.
Well,
since,
I did, yeah. and rightfully. I think, you know, the expression "everybody's replaceable."
How could you skip our ad? Come on, bro. You guys have enough money. You motherfuckers are posting. How could you skip our ad? Unreal, bro. You're literally posting prime bottles on this interview. Okay, you made enough money. You made enough money. This interview is gonna go nutty mode with the ad rev too. I showed the link. It's ethical. It's ethical react.
Like, if you like Dana White, I think you're an evil piece of, like, Dana White is one of the most evil scumbags of all time. UFC fighters are the most overexploited people in combat sports. Dana White is the scum of the earth. Like, it's ridiculous that they're not organized. Like, but the fighters are brain damaged, so they're all conservative, except for like one.
I'm not sure anybody could do the job he does. Is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He gets. I met Khabib, who's 29-0, and his father died, and he just said, "That's it for me." And you know, his father was great at what he did, and probably he never lost even a round. I think 29-0. They say he never lost a round, and I thought he was great. And
Khabib for sure hates his motherfucker. No, he doesn't. Are you kidding me? Khabib literally walked up to him, shook his hand, and was like, "Mr. President, can you please?" The thing that I love about the Dagestani fighters is they all speak English. I think they recognized early on that, like, you got to be able to speak English so you can, like, talk. Yeah, Khabib walked up to him and was like, "So please, you know, Palestine, save them." And Trump, of course, was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna deal with it. Khabib's English is honestly pretty solid. Yeah, no, all the Dagestani fighters, all they do is train and speak English, bro, so they could talk better. Khabib's father convinced him to focus on English. It's smart. It's very, very, very smart to be able to speak English.
We got to speak. He was just about my favorite guy and really talented. The Strickland was fantastic the other night. I thought he was
Great striker.
He was.
Everyone wants to come out of the cage and meet you after they
They
win.
do. Yeah, they do. I'm very honored by it. Every time they win.
You sound like Pakistani parents right now. I mean, it's true though. It's if you want to make it in American media, you have to be able to speak English. Like you become an infinitely more marketable figure when you can talk in English. Okay, the moment that it's not a subtitle that's saying what you're saying, but instead is directly coming out of your mouth, you've become an incredibly marketable entity. And the Dagestani fighters, I think, definitely understand that.
They jump out. Yeah. They jump out of that cage.
Yeah, Islam Makhachev said this.
Doesn't speak
Money is
English
important,
because-
Islam.
Look.
Money is
this guy
important, Islam.
Doesn't speak
Money is
English
important,
because
Islam.
nobody understands this guy. He doesn't speak English. English is important. If you want to make money, you have to speak some language which everybody understands.
So I gonna smash your boy. Go to sleep. It's sleep time. Go to sleep. No tap out. You don't tap out. Go to sleep. These people, they come here to see you. These people, they come here to see you. You talk shit. Go to sleep.
And when you enter the arena, there's an eruption of cheer.
Islam is one of the scarier fighters, I think, in UFC. Like anybody coming out of Dagestan, you know, anybody who, you know, any kind of like Russian, Central Asian Muslim who's a professional, I mean, like, don't talk. Don't, just let them inform you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But I remember, because I've been going to UFC for a while, like it wasn't always like that. There was a very clear like shift in the perception of you. Do you feel like you feel that now?
Yeah, it's like, talk now. Let's talk now. There's another one. Dude, think about how iconic that shit is though. Now we talk. Talking now. Now we talking. Now we talk.
Before the fight, he talked too much.
Think about that, dude. That's insane. Yeah, send
Just
me
cleaner.
location.
Thank you for the
More
tier
than
one.
ever.
As
I
you're
don't know, you know,
beating some other professional UFC fighter to a pulp, you're like, let's talk now. Why you talk?
I've done it in Vegas, Miami. I do it with them, with Dana. Dana wants me to do that, and I do it, and it is an eruption.
Hello?
He said like he's never heard before. They actually stopped a fight. One of the fighters, we're walking out, and there's a fight going on, and these guys are really going at it, and they heard this crazy sound, and they stopped the fight. They both stopped fighting. They're looking over what happened. They probably thought bad things were happening to the arena, but no, it's been great, and he is just somebody you have to really respect. I imagine you guys do, but he gets these fighters from all over the world, and they are, some really talented people. And I have respect for fighters. When you can take 200 shots to the face and then look forward to the second round. Yes. It's interesting.
Biden could never do this interview. Holy fuck, he really is gonna win. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not so certain of Donald Trump winning the election.
Bad things to the face.
He is gonna win. I don't know.
I think okay, my personal feeling about Hasan is that Hasan lives in West Hollywood, and whenever you're talking about vibes of swing states, there's no one who's worse at telling you what the vibes of a swing state are than Hasanabi. This guy, if he's not in New York or Los Angeles, he's in some fucking rich suburb of Austin. Like, this guy is absolutely no time spent in a place where a Republican wins elections. You know what I mean? Bro, Joe Biden is so fucking unpopular. The only people that rock Biden signs and Biden shit is people that are obsessed with hating Trump. That they're such haters of Trump that they adopt Biden. But there is no Biden love. There is no Biden love. It doesn't exist. And if you're running for president of the United States as a hater for re-election, no shot. No shot. And Biden is a piss poor campaigner. Basically, in 2020, Joe Biden glided into the presidency because he had enough of a lead, and he just kind of glided in there. And he's been gliding ever since. He's never gained any fucking ground with the American people. They thought he was funny from his onion memes, and it's all been downhill from there. You haven't seen the Dark Brandon memes. They're so gosh darn funny. Yeah, dude, that's what it is.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not so certain of Donald Trump winning the election. I do think that he has a pretty solid chance, and I think that that should never be the case. But unfortunately, the Democratic Party has gone with Biden, who is an old man. But you are right. I don't think that Joe Brandon could do an uninterrupted hour-long interview like this and just like chirp about Biden has a 20% disapproval margin, bro. Good luck with that. Yeah, except you do realize that the Democratic
Donald Trump is less unpopular than Biden, dude. Like, Biden is more unpopular than Trump.
Party across the board is nowhere near as unpopular as Joseph Robinette Biden is. That's the issue. But the Democratic Party is actually doing fairly well in a lot of the same Senate seats on the same ballots but that Joe Biden is supposed to be at the top of the ticket on. That's the crazy part about it. Like, the Democratic Party isn't doing poorly, Biden is. And under normal circumstances, it's never down ballot that carries the top of the ticket. It's vice versa. You have a very popular leader that a lot of people rally around, and then they go, I'm here, might as well vote down ballot for the Democrats as well. In this situation, it's the exact opposite. Republicans flopped in the midterms. It's not even just that. Like, the Republican Party is broadly seen as like undemocratic, anti-democratic, corrupt, chaotic, and also greatly invested in the removal of civil liberties from women. Okay, not just like gay people.
That's not true at all. Most people are not. I'm sorry. I disagree with all of Hasan's analysis today, but like, most people don't even understand why abortion got banned, or even if it is banned in their state. If you're not getting an abortion right now, the average normie isn't thinking about abortion that much. Now, a lot of women do care strongly about this issue. The only issue is they were already all Democrats. And like, hey, if abortion, like if there's a thing on the ballot saying should abortion be legal, 60% of people will vote yes. But then the people that are Republicans, and then those same people who vote yes that abortion should be legal will go vote for Republicans down ballot. The majority of them don't know the rulings that made abortion illegal in individual states. Exactly. People are just completely floating in the air about, they don't know shit. Dark divination, thank you for the tier 1.
Just queer people, not trans people.
What are Dems going to do? They can't win a majority in the Senate, and no judge is going to retire under a Democrat president. I mean, I think they could win 50 if they get lucky. But a significant portion of the 50 Democratic senators we have support the filibuster. So it's literally not going to make a difference. Like, if Joe Biden wins or Donald Trump wins, it probably doesn't make any difference on abortion. This is a fact. Because no Republican judges are going to resign under Biden. So at best case scenario, you get what? Sotomayor to retire, and maybe Elena Kagan to retire, and you appoint 2 more liberals for them. So you have, 3 55-year-old libs or 45-year-old libs, and nothing changes. It's the same decision. It's still 6-3. So you're hoping some 2 conservatives die? Good fucking luck. They're going to stay on there until they die. And the moment a Republican wins, a bunch are going to retire. And then you're going to restart the timer. The Democrats have maneuvered themselves into the worst possible situation. People say it was independents thought Trump was moderate that won him in 2016. Nobody will think that anymore. I think that's dumb. Why would people think he's not moderate? What are you talking about? Has the mental fitness to do the job? Not at all. Biden 47%, not 15%. So that's what, 62% of Americans don't